America Chavez, the new, she's the new Marvel superhero. So I'm really excited to see what they do with that. But it's a movie, so we're not going to talk about that. We are going to branch into the shows that are not doing it right.
Iron Fist!
Okay. So we'll take it over.
So.
Yes, sir.
They missed a phenomenal opportunity to just have Iron Fist not just be the story of white guy goes to China or China simulation in another dimension and comes back with kung fu, but
you got that could have Matrix.
I mean that does.
I'm confused.
That is factual.
I'm really confused where kung fu comes from now.
So, anyways. There was an actor who made it relatively far into the casting process who was Chinese American and an actual martial artist. And having him as Danny Rand would have made me so happy just because it wouldn't just be white guy in a strange place. It would be, hi, I have part of this culture, but I've never actually been to this country, and now I'm experiencing my own culture through a strange lens that I'm not used to looking through. And then returning back to the US and then dealing with culture shock like 3 times over. Like, it would have been so good, and they wouldn't have even had to go that deeply into it, but just in the casting, they would have implicitly made that argument, and it would have been just an amazing thing for, like, all of us to just sort of go, yeah, so couple generations, my family wasn't in this country, and now we have this dual identity as being an American and being a hyphenated American, and there are all of these different subtextual issues that come into play just by existing.
Yeah.
And instead, we got a white guy who can't fight. And
I'm going to say then is this right here. A lot of Asian generations.
Wait, what? Say it?
With the Asian culture, a lot of the people here, it was their mom and dad. It was their grandma and grandpa who came over. So I believe that would have actually spoken even more so. I'm agreeing with you. I'm totally agreeing with you. I'm just saying. Wait
a minute, what are you trying to say?
Don't let my tone sound like this.
But I know, I just did something when you said and generations, and I'm like, but sometimes it's not even really that.
oh, it's not.
It's not. No, it's my generation.
My dad was born and raised in Okinawa. Like,
so that's and that's where I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so many.
And that would and for somebody like you, that would like even that. I'm like, a lot of the kids even nowadays, I see, from just coworkers and things like that. I'm like going, they're the first people over. Their kids are born in America, and I'm like going.
Same with my
like,
parents.
oh, I'm like, how old are you? And they're like, I'm 22. Oh, I'm old enough to be your parent. So it's one of those things where you kind of just like, okay, I get it. It's so it's not just. I was saying, I was agreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Back to the topic. It's all right. I just noticed the generations, and that caught my attention. And,
No, it's a good clarification because.
I mean, it could be either situation. Some
Yeah.
of them are people who are first generation, and some of them are third generation. Regardless of the fact, they had this opportunity
Yes.
to do something big, and they failed miserably.
They stayed the course. It's not like they just ghost in the shell like 15 minutes ago. Like 15 minutes ago. It's to jump back to the Orville. It's not like they changed the society. Like they still went in there and like just cut it up and made it all the way they want to do.
Maker.
Don't do that. Cut that part out. Don't do the ice thing. But yeah,
That's
no,
what they
like
did.
they
That's
stayed the
exactly
course.
what
Yeah,
they did.
They stayed the course.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think that they could have done a whole lot better with representation in that film. Or that television show. Oh boy.
They could have done better with that show.
Yeah.
period.
Like what? Like what? Exactly.
A better script. Like it was of all of them, somehow it was last and weakest. It was that weird like third child that nobody paid attention to, so they could force the Defenders to happen. Yeah. And like it dragged the entire Defenders down as well. Like it did. It was Jessica Jones blew everybody's mind. It was a beautiful like deep psychological rape allegory that like went through all of these things, and even though it was like divergent from the comic, it like really got its core in there. And then you had the hero we all needed. Which was the black man immune to gunfire, which if somebody shoots me and it ever bounces off, I'm shooting myself every day. like that's my news. And then all of a sudden they like at a moment where they had like gotten all of this steam.
You forgot there's one other one, Daredevil, which was good.
Oh yeah, no, probably happened at some point in time.
Blind Ninja. 2 seasons of Blind Ninja.
Yeah. I didn't watch that one at all. I jumped in at Jessica Jones.
I did like what they did with Daredevil, even if it wasn't extremely diverse. I think they stayed as true to the comics as possible, especially bringing out Elektra. Oh, she was a force to be reckoned with, and I love what they did with her character too, where she came from, what she represented. I loved that they made her not a Jennifer, whatever her name is, Jennifer Gardner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that they didn't make her a typical white, girl raised by, was it like, I think, Middle Eastern parents. They made her a Middle Eastern girl. And like, what did they call her too? The Black Pearl, I think it was, or Black Sky, yeah. And yeah, I love what they did with Daredevil. I loved the first season and I loved the second season. It took me a lot longer to watch Daredevil compared to Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, but I think that they were okay with Daredevil. Iron Fist, man.
You talking about Elektra reminded me of something that I think I have to say as an Okinawan. Sai are not used for cutting or stabbing. They're not. You break bones with them. You you block weapons. You punch people with them. They are not for stabbing. They're not for cutting. Everyone in Hollywood gets them wrong.
I don't understand why.
I'm gonna need to talk to Raphael. I'm gonna need to talk to Raphael.
I will go home and get any of my pair of Sai and hit you with them.
Don't hit me with Sai.
They are not for stabbing. Not for cutting. You break bones with them.
Yeah.
You break swords with them.
Are they even sharp?
No, they're not sharp.
Yeah,
not.
I was like, I thought they were blunted.
They're blunted on top, yeah.
They're completely blunt. You can't do it. Like, if you put enough force behind it, okay, sure. You can stab anything.
Trust me. I'd find a way.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
All right, moving on. What other film? I don't want to play in that dirt. I don't want to play in that dirt. Moving on.
You are invited, Don.
What other?
They're just gonna spray some weed killer. Just spray some weed killer and move on.
What other shows are bugging people?
Actually, sorry.
No, you got the passion in you now.
Has anyone seen Frontier?
Let him finish.
So,
Yes, sir.
even though shit.
Nope, there's a camera roll.
Even though I have many strong feelings that are generally not positive about Iron Fist, I do have to give them props for taking Colleen Wing and showcasing her.
Yeah.
I wish they had done more with her because she is a fantastic character and the actress can fight decently. And one thing that I will say, another thing that I'll say is the fan reaction to Iron Fist has made me happy because there have been so many people that
not happy.
They're not Asian. They don't have the background, but they're still going, you know what? This does not represent Asian culture at all.
Yeah.
And anytime the actor's fighting and he doesn't have a hoodie up so they can swap him out with a stunt double. It's painful, and it makes me sad. But
Because he wants to do all the fight scenes himself.
but the fans are like, hey, something's wrong. And they point it out, and that makes me so damn happy because it means that there's this entire generation of people who can recognize that when something's not authentic.
Yeah.
And recognize that, no, it's not okay.
They're actually paying attention. Yeah, that definitely, I just, okay, so.
Part of me is just afraid that we might have hit like weeb saturation. Like it's not coming from a good place. Like we've just hit weeb saturation. Everybody's just like, my Gundams say this isn't okay. And I listen to whatever they say.
Okay, so the shows. Yeah, let's talk about other shows that we see today, that we believe are just not.
You know what? Okay, jumping all the way back to the Carmichael Show. The Carmichael Show is the kind of black answer to The Middle, which has been going on for a while. And I love the show The Middle, but it is about a white family in middle America that doesn't have a lot of money.
Okay.
And I don't even think they have a black neighbor. But then there's also The Goldbergs, which is about a Jewish family. Yes, about a Jewish family who has one Asian friend. But they also it's all about how like they got into film and all of this weird stuff happened, and they show the actual footage from that they shot in home movies because that's what he did. So and then hold on, there's like 7 of them, but like, but it's like Malcolm in the Middle was successful, and so 1,000 of them have sprouted, and there's always at least 2 on TV at any given time. But that's what the Carmichael Show is. But I think the Carmichael Show is only on Hulu because they wouldn't put that on actual television without all the comedy. Like, because the Carmichael Show is funny, but it's more cutting funny. It's not like Blackish comedy where you have a black man crying and screaming to the gods, and like showing up in a dashiki to show that he is black one day, and talking about how but
Or the white person showing up in a dashiki showing that he understands.
So it's not that show. It's just it's mostly just. I mean, it's mostly the Carmichael Show is a black family with like a half black girlfriend that they're constantly bagging on for her white dad.
Oh no!
Yeah, like, and so it's like it's some like deep color comedy. Like black people get it. Like how many times I've been called light skinned today at work.
Hi yellow. Hi yellow.
Hi yellow. Or light skinned it. I'm just there's not that many EDs. Why you speak so good? Like shut up.
I know. I get that.
But yeah,
too.
but I guess there is still a lot of room to grow. I am super positive right now, and I know there's a lot of problems that we have no way, shape, or form overcome.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy, at least with the amount of entertainment that I can get right now.
Yeah.
That isn't how I felt when I was a kid, when I was on the playground trying to pretend to be a superhero, and they were all like, "You can't be Batman because Batman's not black." Granted, it was an active Klan town. But this was something that I was constantly told. I couldn't be any of these heroes.
Yeah.
And right now, like,
Did they tell you he was a Dark Knight?
that wasn't out yet. I'm not that young. Black don't crack. But like, my son, who's half Portuguese, quarter black, high yellow as fuck, like will be able to get a loan and anything else that he ever needs. He gives himself a black eye every 3 days, and I'm just like, there you go. But like, it took me a long time to get him to identify as black and to explain to him that because his father was black, he still carries on that legacy.
Yeah.
And one day he'll have some weird chocolate child and he'll be like, "Dad, look, it's true!" And we'll hold it up to the sun and be like, everything the light touches.
Oh,
We'll sim the crap out of it. But right now I can watch TV, and when I'm like, hey, I want to be this hero, or hey, I want to be this character from a show, I have so much to pick from right now, and it feels new to me.
It is new.
And so I guess I don't have anything to really brag about. Like, I still got shows that I want to conquer.
Yeah.
I feel like the fact that that Tracy Jordan was in 30 Rock and not Donald Glover, like there was never and like Twofer and Tracy Jordan were just like the black plug-ins to 30
Yeah.
Rock in a really awkward way when it was really, but honestly the conversation in that show is about white power dynamics between genders. And so I could use, I know there's more to take, but like I got so much, how can I be mad?
Yeah. Are there any shows that you would tell people to just stay away from, and why?
I don't know right now. Like I guess I don't see them. Like like my internet is so well curated. Like sometimes Google gets my Hulu and my hentai-gasm confused. But my internet's gotten to a point where it's so well curated that I don't see a lot of it. And like if I guess that's on me to dig deeper and find things I don't like.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Well, there was one that I had an issue with it, and it was like a TV for film kind of thing, but the new Death Note that they came out with was something that angered me a lot, especially because they based it in Seattle. And
it wasn't based in Seattle?
it was based in Seattle.
Oh, I mean, but the original part wasn't based in Seattle?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, yeah.
But
How did that change?
Well, it being in
Wait, hold on. I thought Seattle was just north of San Francisco, which is clearly in Japan.
Wait.
In the big Hero 6
on the
universe
same-
I live in. This is all I have, don't take it from me.
I'm like, it's on the same ocean. Why are you guys freaking out about it?
Just one body of water. But I guess with Death Note, like Death Note was another example of them just ruining something.
Yeah.
Like there there was no
the
redeemable.
overreaction that was involved in the scene where he met.
Nah, dude, he was supposed to be gangster as hell. Instead, he was.
He's like
fucking-
a screaming
yeah.
little bitch.
Yeah, it's fucking bitch
Why was
mode.
this happening?
I wasn't gonna say it first. I wasn't gonna say it first. I'm gonna.
Could
there was
not
just
watch
there was. I watched it, but I watched it on pirated TV. Can we cut that out? Damn it. So I didn't.
Tell us more about that, Abby.
I didn't give it the ratings that it deserved, but I just wanted to see. I wanted to see what they would do with it, and I was watching it with my son, and he was literally staring at me angrily the whole time.
That's child abuse. He's gonna see that on you. I would never do that to my child.
He was like watching it, he's looking at me, and then he starts texting it, and he's like, why?
He wouldn't even talk to you about it? He texted you about it?
He was texting me the whole time, like, why?
That's Generation
What are you
Z
doing
rage.
this to me? Like, why are we watching this right now? And I was like, would you just
angry for
watch it?
words.
And it was the reason why I wanted him to watch it was because I wanted him to see what was going on in film today. Just in case, because he is that kind of kid that likes to change things. And if he sees what's going wrong in the world today, especially in the passion that I love the most, which is, film, entertainment, any kind of performance type stuff, then, he'll get it. He'll get why I have this passion.
You pulled that
with
back really
certain
well. You
things.
pulled that back from the edge. Like I was gonna push you straight off that
but
edge.
seriously,
but
that
you
was
pulled
honestly,
it back in the end. Yeah,
that
yeah.
was honestly my reasoning,
Yeah.
and that's why I get involved. I volunteer him to do so many films with me.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I'm not done. Just so he can understand where I'm coming from and why I'm getting him to do all the things that I've been making him do. Because this is the way that my parents not necessarily taught me, but it's my way of teaching him. So he gets it from my perspective and understands like, oh, this is why mom is the way that she is. And he develops his own opinions on his own. And that's why I thought that whole situation was really funny when he couldn't even talk to me. I just got this long stream of text messages. He's sitting right next to me and he's just like, why? So, other shows.
Other shows doing it right.
Doing it.
Jumping back.
Are we doing it? Yeah, we're doing it
I'm
right.
jumping to do it right.
Let's go back to doing it right.
Okay, so
we missed some shows.
no matter what, no matter how you feel about anything in the universe, if you love anything, Steven Universe is doing it right. Steven Universe might be the Grail. Like we have chosen wisely, and an old white film exec turns to dust in front of us. I can't think of anything they have ever done to make me be like, well, they could have done that better. And it might be biased, but I'm okay with it. I would die on this hill alone. Like Steven Universe is like the trans gay black agenda that white people were afraid of in like the 30s. And we've got it. We did it, and it was awesome.
Why does everyone keep asking me to cosplay Garnet?
Because I cosplay Garnet, and if you do it, I will fight you to the death.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do it.
Just telling you right now.
I will build you your costume. Just because I want to see it.
Because I could beat your ass, but we're not gonna go into that conversation.
You have that on camera. You have it on camera. We will get the results.
Okay. Also,
I just remember,
not only does it touch everything you've also said, but majority of the cast are Asian. Pearl is about as Asian as you can get for someone who's not from this fucking planet.
Yeah.
Like, Swordmaster. That's kind of stereotypical, but okay. Ruthlessly logical. Horribly uptight. Like, yeah, all right.
So she's Vulcan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or space Asian.
Space Asian. Yes, that is where we're at. And you're not wrong.
Sorry, we actually didn't cover that. Is it he, him, they? You said queer in every kind of way, and I was like, he.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I didn't get that in your
appreciate
intro.
that.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, hold on. Have you not watched Steven Universe?
Okay, so basic premise, and this works for the audience also. Basic premise: we have Steven, who is
This person with a
also
jewel in his stomach.
He has a jewel. He has this little.
he has a jewel.
Yeah.
But that's not the.
We call it a gem. And we call it a gem.
It's a gem.
It's a gem.
Anyway, so like he was created because his mother was a large figure within the universe, but wanted to have a child, and there can only be like one sort of life force per gem.
Only one.
So, got with a human. Steven is half human, half gem. His mother has basically just become him through the gem. Like, she basically just poofed into the gem.
Okay. So his mother is always with him.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
also
Yes.
forever away.
But broad picture, the Gem Society is the empire. Humans were about to be slaughtered. It got stopped, and now we're figuring stuff out. It's a 10,000-year long war that now all hinges on the opinions of a 13-year-old boy.
Also extremely important to mention, they're gems. They're all played by human women, and
Alien
like their
women,
voice,
yeah.
but they're voiced by human women, but they don't have gender. It doesn't really exist. A lot of them will go by female pronouns, like almost exclusively, but you don't get to go, oh yeah, it's this gender concept, because it's not even applicable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why when Dom jumped on it about being the part of the trans agenda, because
It is, yeah. But yeah, Steven Universe it's everything that I ever needed, and my son and I watch it all the time. And through the show, we've had those questions, like. Because I will wear a skirt around the house because skirts are the secret that has been kept from mankind for too long. And we're taking it back! We're taking back skirts!
That's why you have kilts.
So, no, kilts are heavy and like they keep the heat in. But like, but like a sundress through the house is the closest thing you can get to just being a nudist and like answer the door to get pizza without also getting a tip. But I just or arrested these days. But like I wear skirts around the house, and there's been a lot of questions and things like, and those. I've never seen a show like that is so almost magic school bussy about civil liberties. Mm-hmm. Like it just goes through and explores how fluid everything can be. And how at any point in time that there is an answer, it is an answer for that person in that moment. And it touches on betrayal and lies, and it even like in a very like child appropriate way talks about like abusive relationships and rape and things like that. Like it really digs into everything, every conversation we want to have with our children, except for you're black, don't go outside, the cops will kill you.
I mean, I've had that conversation with my son.
Actually, I'm taking it back. They do that, except for you're a human, don't go outside, space will kill you. like giant hands in space will come down here and they will murder you all. That is their plan.
Because of your whiteness.
Because of your humanness. Because that it is human, but like let's look at the human cast. The human cast just in the town is incredibly diverse, like both physically and neurologically. Like we don't know what's going on with a lot of them, but Onion. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if he is a human with magic or if he is just a neurodiverse human in this world that it takes these, and because Steven's eyes are always wide. He never closes them to anything. He never questions negatively on things. Yeah. He will always go through an adventure just to see what's there. And sometimes it gets real weird, and then on the other side, you're fine. Like, it is an incredibly just diverse in every cut and corner. There's something else for you to see. Yeah. I mean, his dad lives in a van. like business owner ? But dad lives in a van. So you also see across wealth lines as well as you explore this world built to make a better generation of children than there's probably ever been. The greatest generation is probably 7 right now.
Yeah.
Because of Steven Universe, I will die on this hill.
Oh, and they even have like an explicit lesson on cognitive behavioral therapy. Like it's a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not joking. Here comes a thought. Like YouTube it. It is straight up cognitive behavioral therapy targeted for children in a song. Mm-hmm. You cannot get more wholesome. You can't.
Okay.
Suck it, Sesame Street. Count this.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to other shows. Does anyone else have any other show that they want to see that they know that's actually doing it right? I think we touched on like Stranger Things, at least in the second season. I think I liked the first season, but I've never been in a society where anyone has ever looked at color growing up, at least. Like everyone sounded the same way, everyone did the same things. There wasn't that. I mean, there was bullying, of course, but there wasn't that, oh, you're black, we don't like you. It was more like, oh, you're, this football fan, we don't like you, kind of situation.
Manchester.
What I do say, I do like about it is the small group of boys that are the main characters.
Yes, and they're all gamers.
They
they're tabletop gamers, not
we
video
love the
gamers.
gamers. But within that group, you have a child from a broken home. Okay, you have a rich child. You have a child who has a medical disability, having the soft palate, and then
I
you
just never
have,
saw that as a disability, though.
really, they have to have surgery, corrective, and it
Yeah.
can cause a lot of problems. So, and a lot of times it's his thing is he's never going to talk like everybody else.
Yeah, but he
it's
does
always
that
going to be noticeable.
thing.
Okay, and then we have an African American child,
Yeah.
and between those 4 boys, I'm like, wow, that's a pretty
Non-diverse cast.
non-diverse guy. But the only thing I don't like about Stranger Things is we only get to see.
And then the girl.
One.
You forget the girl.
Oh well, yes, and of course the girl who I don't even know. She's born. She has special powers.
Yeah.
And yes, okay. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but anyway.
Spoilers! She has this special ability to.
But I love the fact that she's a
send-
girl in the first part. She's a girl who is.
Well, they didn't even know that she was a girl at first, too, in the first
right.
season.
She's a boy. He's a boy.
They did, they always thought that she was a he until I don't remember the exact moment, but they realized that she was a girl. Then, the way to disguise her was to give her a blonde wig and a dress, so that she could walk around town with them, which was like, I don't know, I don't know, but.
That's how kids would solve it.
Yeah,
That might be how I would
Yeah.
solve a problem. Like, oh, little blonde girl,
Yeah,
or little bald girl. Here's a wig.
But
Well,
I was very
if you look at
happy with the second season.
I was like, yeah, but if we look at it too, like if you're looking at it and they see her as a boy, the logical response would be, let's make him look like a girl, and then he's disguised. So I mean, logical.
Yeah.
I could see that, but I mean, I think, like I said, the issue I have is that we only have one person of race in the group. And
Yeah,
in the
but
characters
this was made
whole
back
show.
when?
Well, I'm saying yes, it was made back then, and yes, we can say.
I mean, it was made
that-
now, but it was for the time of.
Yeah, it's supposed to be that time, and I'm like, and yes, it's a small town, but I really find it really hard to believe that there's only one black person in town.
I mean,
I don't.
yeah.
I do.
don't.
I mean, I've lived in a small town. Okay. No, let me tell you. But I'm like,
I've seen towns
you know,
like that, though.
it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, but
Yeah.
I do love that. But as I said, second season, there was the issue. There was the
The Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Issue.
They're dressing up as the Ghostbusters for Halloween, and the argument happens of who gets to be Winston.
No.
Or not Winston, Bankman. Who gets to be
Yes.
Bankman? That's right.
Because he's the cool guy.
And who gets to be Bankman?
Everyone
And-
wants to be Bill Murray.
So it was Lucas and Mike arguing about who gets to be.
Bankman's character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he points, Mike really wants to be Bankman.
Yeah.
Lucas really wants to be Bankman. And he's like, no, we agreed on this. He goes, I get to be Bankman. And he goes, he goes,
we agreed
or
on me being
Bankman.
Bankman. And it literally dribbled into the why, because I'm black, then that should be Winston. And he's like, no. And that literally won the argument,
Yeah.
which is the best thing ever. So Lucas ended up being Bankman. Or at least it was led to believe that
Yeah.
Lucas won the argument about being Bankman. And they all went off on their merry little way. But I love that the writers put that in there and they played with that because they knew we'd like it. And Lucas, oh my goodness, he was I think for me, he was the star of this season.
He was.
He even got he got a girlfriend. Spoiler alert! I love that they made him he was literally the center of this season.
And we got to watch something.
I got to see more from him in his character.
There's that, but I also got to watch something happen that I haven't seen in a long time. And there was something visceral in me that kind of just I was like,
Interracial dating?
No.
Oh.
No, I love that.
Okay.
No, her stepbrother.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that when he saw her talking to Lucas, made a comment, we don't talk to their kind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And
But remember, they came from a different town.
Yes, they did, but I also was watching, I'm like going, okay, and then we see his father, and his father looks very well made, but his father was just a freaking, but, and I'm looking at it, I'm like going, okay, here you see a well-made, a woman who's dressed very appropriately, a man who's dressed very appropriately,
That wasn't his
starts
mom
beating
either,
his
too.
child.
Yep, all of a sudden.
And then I'm like, and then you see,
Like, it was a switch. It was a literal switch. Because there was something that he said to him, and he turned around and he was like, "What did you say?" And then he grabbed him, threw him against the wall, and it was like, "You don't talk to me, or like we don't talk like that in my house, because I'm the one in charge." And he's railing on him, and it was a total turn from anything I've ever seen on that show before too, because I've never seen that kind of violence from one human to another, especially in a parental unit too. So the fact that they went that route, I mean, I think it was something that needed to be discussed.
I know, watch the show.
but what happened
Just need to bring in
afterwards-
punching kids.
Yeah.
That's what I want to discuss is what happened after that. Is
Yeah.
he drove to pick her up from his little sister from the arcade.
From the arcade.
And
Because they had to find
and
her.
he saw that she was talking with Lucas.
Yeah.
He literally threatened Lucas's life.
Yeah.
And
He even
he's
beat
like,
up Lucas too.
And I'm
or
like,
was about to.
About to. And I'm like, looking at this, I'm like going, he is perpetuating what he has been taught.
Yep.
And I'm like,
But we don't really see that from
and
the
I-
dad though.
and
That's
but
the
that's what I'm
thing.
saying. We don't see that from the dad. And then
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we do. Why do we? Because we saw it in the child.
Yeah.
And we saw him literally imitating the behavior of his father earlier. So now, if it's any of the
He
behavior
needs
he's
to
doing,
take it out on
and those
somebody
snaps
else.
and those clicks where he's doing it, and I'm like, he is literally imitating his father's
Yeah.
behavior. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, and it literally, like I said, I had a visceral reaction to it. I was just like,
Yeah.
it was like, I was like, I hope that monster eats him.
Where were the demi-dogs? Where were the demi-dogs?
But
It was like that was one character I was hoping they would go after. And they didn't.
it was, and it didn't happen.
Yeah. Maybe in the
But I'm
third
like-
season.
But I'm still like, it was one of those things where it was
crazy.
I was really happy to see though that here we were addressing a Lucas, African American child, having a crush on a blue-eyed blonde.
No, she wasn't
white
blonde.
or-
She was ginger.
Sure, she was. That's right, she was
She was
ginger.
so ginger,
That's right,
and
she's a
I loved
ginger.
it so much. All the gingers, yes.
He's got this.
It's like, don't you tell me she was blonde. She was a ginger, and I loved her for it because she was fiery.
But I love
She
the
was
fact that
fiery.
it was a mutual thing.
I didn't like the fact that they automatically assumed that somebody playing a game who's called Max was a guy. And I guess that's the thing, whatever.
I'll be honest.
Mad Max.
If I
is
go to an
like-
arcade and I see the name on the thing and it says Max at the top, I will probably assume it's a guy.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't, but I do.
Yeah, and then they were like, no, it couldn't be her. No. Mad Max? No, not possible. But like, one of the things that was really confusing to me too was they never really explained their relationship also between the brother and Maxine.
They're stepsisters. They're step-siblings.
Well, yes, but he kept saying that they weren't family.
Yeah.
Over and over again, and I was like, well, what are you? Until, and also most of the scenes were set in this house, or actually you didn't even see the house
Yeah.
until like the 5th or 6th episode.
That's when it's explained. It's like, yeah, because
But
you
then
get to see
you
a
know, they
stepmother.
finally explain what their relationship is, and then you see, the father figure come in, and how he's so abusive to the son, but you never see what his relationship is with the girl, which I hope they do explore that in the new season. But I did like that it was like a contest between him and the other kid, Destin. That's right. And it was like a competition between Lucas and
Yeah.
Destin.
who gets the girl?
He kept doing the.
Yeah.
Oh well, no. No, that is never going to attract any girl ever. No matter how many times you do it, I don't care. But the fact that they didn't make Dustin win the girl because of whatever reason, and she kept getting closer and closer to Lucas. I was like, thank you guys.
Yeah, no, I was like that.
Thank you so much.
It was actually kind of
She's
nice
got jungle
and
fever. He's got
See?
jungle fever.
well, so I thought it was kind of nice to see the delving into the interracial relationship. Thank
Yes.
you. My brain is not.
Sorry.
Interracial relationship
That's what I'm here for.
between young kids
Yeah.
nowadays, and actually getting to see the response from outside
Yeah.
at the same time. And if you because you're going,
Wasn't negative.
you're wanting
Yeah.
that to be okay, and you see it's not
Yeah.
out
But
here.
everyone else
and it's just like,
with them thought it was okay.
yeah.
Everyone
But
with the
But
kids
it's
thought it was
always the
okay.
parents. Like the two girlfriends I had in high school that I had the joyous occasion of listening to their parents tell them to break up with me because I was black.
Yeah.
Like it's like the kids, some of them garbage kids, but I didn't grow up in the best town. But like it's hearing the parents say it
Yeah.
and hearing the older siblings say it that that kind of puts you in that place. And I think this is like, I keep waffling back and forth listening to you talk about the show. Like, should I give it the time? Should I not? And I don't think I can. I think it's too close. Like that small town, that my brother and I were the only black people in our town.
Yeah.
We're raised by our all-white family in an all-white active Klan town. Like that was it.
But
Like,
they play with it more. That's what I like. They don't make it like that. They don't. This kid that's hanging out with these other 3 white kids. Well, 4.
And
that's when
Lucas's
hitting.
family is very well off.
Yeah.
They're very
But they
well
don't.
off.
They
So-
never make it about race. It's only the one guy.
Yeah.
That moves from another town that
Yeah.
makes it about race. Nobody else does. They don't say. They don't really dive into relationships because they're all kids just yet. They don't dive into relationships or anything like that. But in the second season, it's just like the 2 of them. It's 11, of course, and Maxine that find 2 of the boys that they're attracted to, and they have this harmony with, and they have a dance and they explore that. And I loved it. I loved that they did not make this show about race whatsoever, except for that one part.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it was outsiders.
Yeah.
And I loved it because, let's be honest, if we were in a group of 4 and there were 3 lighter skinned persons and there was one darker skinned person and we were Ghostbusters, you know what would happen. And so,
Like the original Ghostbusters.
yeah, so I'm just kind of like, which is part of the reason why the new Ghostbusters.
We're not getting into that. We're not getting into
like,
that. Yeah. We're not at movies yet.
Okay.
I like the new Ghostbusters.
I loved it. I was very disappointed.
Hey, we're not getting into that. Another thing that I loved about Stranger Things is that they had this one character with the family. Oh, of course I can't get the names of the woman with the main character with the Christmas lights. I can't figure out the names.
Oh, you mean
her getting with someone who was
Yeah.
this loving person wanting to take her out of this town because her sons were not well off. They weren't happy because they weren't in a good place like everybody else was. They were the bottom
Bob was his name.
family. Bob the video guy.
Bob the video guy. Yep.
And it was nice to see that dynamic also. Not when it came to racial issues or anything like that. You had this like normal guy meets girl and they make out at work in the broom closet.
I know. Like, oh, get out.
And then so we're like, wait, what's happening? And it
That's
was
abusing company time. I don't like. Shut up. I have no time for white people dying in the woods and making out in closets. Like Stranger Things is just.
It's not, but it
Look,
wasn't
some
even
people
about that.
spend
It
their
was
time on
showing.
smoke breaks, in their time making out. I mean, a break is a break. What do you want, man?
Yeah, and that's what she did. She did it on her breaks.
You go sell that to the kitchens. I bet it's over great. You mean I don't have to smoke to get my break? I just have to make out with Jesus? Like, we're there. And the kitchen's got this.
All the testosterone. God. No, it was, I thought it was cute. I thought it was really sweet. And it was one of those things where, every girl who doesn't feel like, she's doing the best that she can has this guy. Not the hero act, but, it's nice to be able to have that one person that you're going through all these issues. You have the typical friend that's helping you, but then you have the typical romance also. And I loved that they made it Sam G. I was very happy that he wasn't the typical big strong man. He was this shorter, kind of chunky, not super attractive.
Nerdy. He was not super athletic.
Yeah, he was not super athletic. He wasn't, but she loved him. I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything like that because that's
we've
the one
already
thing.
spoiled everything.
No, but I'm not going to spoil that one
does.
part. I'm not going to
does?
spoil that. I'm not going to spoil that. I'm not going to.
Like everything you said, I know movie. I've never seen. I've watched the show until a white girl crawled into a tree.
Horror movies.
You've been like, hey, this is a good guy. This is a good guy with no superpowers, and he can't lift a truck. He fucking dies. Like that is. If the bad guy didn't die, like wait, was he a virgin? Did he go upstairs?
He wasn't a virgin.
That's why he died. Did you not watch Scream?
There are rules.
There are rules.
I mean, he could have probably been a virgin, but
Made out in the closet, too close. Had to go. Never seen it. I don't know if it's a spoiler. I can't confirm. I'm just theorizing off of what they've told me about this dude.
I was happy with that, and I highly recommend first season and second season of Stranger Things.
You can do better.
Yeah, I think it should definitely.
I'm waiting
watch.
for the third.
I'm very excited about the third season. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see what happens with the fact that they branched off that she has a sister, and the sister is Indian.
Yeah.
You
I know.
know?
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that, and super excited to see what they do, together.
I am and knowing mom now.
Yeah.
Knowing the story.
Yeah, finding out who mom is,
Yeah, that's
and yeah,
that's the interesting part. Yeah, that was that was kind of like, oh, okay.
Mom is just like her.
Mom is just like her.